Today we're going to be talking about the characteristics of living things. Group the items below. In this picture, we are focusing on the green bacterial cell. We also have a pile of rocks, a flower, a drop of water, a cow, plastic straws, a pot of soil, and paper and pencils. Today's essential question is, what characteristics determine whether something is considered living or biotic? There are 6 characteristics that all living things share. Discuss with your elbow partner what you think some of the characteristics are. All living things have cells. Cells are structures that contain all the materials necessary for life. On this slide, we have several pictures of different cell types. We have some animal cells, some paramecium cells, and some plant cells. All living things also sense and respond to change. When an organism is cold, it tends to shiver. The shivering helps the body warm up to its normal temperature. When hot, the body tends to sweat to help bring temperature down. All living things sense and respond to change. In this picture, we have a picture of a Venus flytrap. As this Venus flytrap notices or senses that there is a fly inside its petals, it will close the petals and secrete digestive enzymes to digest and break down the fly for food. All living things reproduce. There are 2 types of reproduction. Sexual reproduction, which is what the case for the tigers, is when you have 2 parents and the offspring share the characteristics of both parents. We also have asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, there is only one parent. The offspring is identical to the parent. In this picture, we have a cell, a bacterial cell, going through what's called binary fission. In this binary fission, the cell is splitting into 2 parts. Each part is identical and is now a new daughter cell. All living things have DNA. In this picture here, the white items in the top of the test tube is DNA. This DNA was extracted from student mouths during a lab last year. We'll be discussing the structure of DNA as we get to our genetics unit. All living things use energy. Plants use energy to go through photosynthesis. All organisms have to transport nutrients and materials in and out of cells and around the organism. So this is just an example of 2 processes that require energy. All living things grow and develop. One of the easiest examples to see is a baby. A baby grows and becomes a child, a young adult, and eventually an adult. Plants start out as seedlings and eventually go through processes and turn into a full-grown flower, tree, bush, whatever kind of plant they are. Can you remember the 6 characteristics? All living things are made of 1 or more cells. All living things sense and respond to change. All living things grow and develop. All living things have DNA. All living things use energy. And all living things reproduce. So taking what you have learned today, regroup the items below. Your grouping should look something like this. We have water as non-living or abiotic. Rocks are non-living. Bacteria is living. The sunflower is living. The cow is living or biotic. The pot of soil is non-living. It might have organisms living inside of it, but the soil itself does not live. Plastic is non-living. And what about the paper and pencil? You might think that they'd be considered in the non-living category. However, when we're talking about biotic factors, that includes all organisms that live or ever have lived. The paper and pencils come from trees. Therefore, they are considered biotic as the trees were once alive. That is it for today's lesson. Have a nice rest of your day.